Welcome back to Light Talk, everyone. This is a place where everyday people can tell their spiritual journey stories in a safe and supportive community. Please click your like, share, and subscribe buttons below. So we're going to get started. So go for it.
Hi, my name is Leah. I am a cake decorator, and these are some of my experiences with like the paranormal.
Okay.
Um, I guess like my first experience with like ghosts was when the only one I can remember is like when I was like 7. We had a babysitter that day, and I just gone to bed, and I'm sitting in there getting all nice and cozy, and like this dark, heavy feeling comes across me, and I get like paralyzed. And I hear behind me my closet door open, like horror movie style, just like, and I hear something on like all fours just go, "Pop, pop, 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 pop," like running towards my bed. I'm like, I like sit up and I scream, and the babysitter comes in. I'm like, there's something in the closet. And I'm sure she thought I was just like a paranoid little 7-year-old staying at home without parents, but
Right.
I don't know what that was. It was very real to me.
And it probably was.
Yeah,
That's
very
what it's all
freaky.
about.
Um,
Yeah.
my most recent experience has been my grandmother just passed away, and I remember getting a text from my dad at like 3 in the morning say, "Hey, grandma's not doing so good. She may not make it through the night." And I'm like, well, no, that's no, I didn't want to hear that at 3 a.m. in the morning.
That's early.
So I fall back asleep, and I have the most vivid dream of my grandmother. I've never dreamt about her before, but I'm like in her house, and she's trying to hang up these like Christmas lights. I'm like, Grandma, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in the hospital. She's like, no, no, don't worry about it. It's fine. I don't need to be there right now. And she goes and she sits down, and she's like, you can finish the lights though. That'd be nice. And so I finish hanging her lights, and I'm looking around, and you were actually in my dream. And
And to let the audience know, you are my niece, so we are
yes,
related. So just to
should
let them know,
have
just
started
to
with
help
that.
get me started on all of this journey stuff myself. So getting a little family involved. So
um,
go ahead, Leah.
so yeah, you were in that dream, and I remember you seeing you behind Grandma and going like, I don't know, you had this like comforting light around you, and it was just like everything's going to be just fine. This is what needs to happen in this moment. It's sad, of course,
Hmm.
but it's what's supposed to happen right now.
Yes.
And and I woke up, and 4 minutes before I had woken up, my dad had texted us saying that Grandma had passed away.
Oh,
So I was like, oh well, she was coming and saying, goodbye in her own way.
yes. In their own way. Yes.
And I've never had anything like that happen. Like when I dream about people, normally I can't see their faces, but
Uh-huh.
her face was so very clear in my dream. It was just a little heartbreaking,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
peaceful.
Peaceful. That's good. That's good. Yeah, she visited your mom too, and I spoke with her. I interviewed her, so she'll be coming on the show too.
Oh, very nice.
So that'll be cool. But yeah, she's got the same story with grandma too. Um,
Yeah, super wild.
it is pretty wild. I didn't have as exciting of an experience with mom when before she passed, but I did. I'm an empath, and a couple days before she passed, I was feeling like heartburn coming on.
Mm.
And I thought it was just mine, not thinking, because I haven't really had the experiences and all with my empath yet, but
Hmm.
I know I am. And I started getting heartburns a couple days before. And
Wow.
she did when she went in to let the audience know she did have a cardiac arrest there at the very end. So it was me feeling her heart going. Yeah.
Wow.
And I did have a quick vision of her laying in the casket just before she passed too, like the day before she passed.
Yeah, it's she was letting us all know it was about
Yeah,
time.
it's been really interesting that we do have all stories of it.
Yeah.
You've had more stories as a child, haven't you?
Oh yeah. I firmly believe the house I grew up in is haunted with something. I don't know what, but it seems like it's like a train station. Things are just coming and going all the time.
Yeah.
Like I've never felt comfortable in our living room. Our living room is like it faces straight down a hallway to where the bedrooms are. So you
Uh-huh.
just look down that if you're looking at the TV. It's like super eerie. I just had recently visited my parents, and when I was sleeping on the couch, I had the most restless sleep, thinking people were just walking around the room the whole night, looking at me. Just it was super unnerving. I forgot how creepy that house is.
Good thing you're not there anymore, huh?
No. um,
Oh,
my
you
family
just,
seems to be a little bit more in tune with spirits than I am. I have more like premonitions of things that are happening, but like in the most useless ways.
well, you can work with that and get it into more of a stabilized and useful way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope because it's not very helpful to be like, oh, that guy's gonna order this type of cake and be spot on. I'm like, okay, well, I still had to interact with him. I could just be like, do you want this cake? And he'd be like, oh, wow, how'd you
How
know
did you know?
that?
Yeah, well, that's something you can work on and maybe help somebody in a medical way or yeah.
Yeah, it'd be really
That's
nice
great.
to kind of tune in a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm working on it. I would need a lot more patience, and that's something I have very little of.
I kind of am the same way. I would like all of this to be happening like
Yes.
like right now. But I know I gotta calm down, take a deep breath,
Yeah.
meditate more.
Yeah. Things will happen when they're supposed to happen, and there's no
Exactly.
point in trying to force things or make things speed up because I'm impatient. So,
Right. Exactly. And that's part of our growing as a human being too, is to just stay patient and let things happen the way it needs to happen.
for sure.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that have gone wrong in my life that have left me where I am today. And
Hmm.
although those experiences that I've had in the past were something I'd never want to do again, I am grateful that they happened because it's led me to well, my husband for one, and living in a place where I feel very comfortable and safe and happy for like the first time in a long time. And I never would have gotten here if I hadn't had to go through all those trials, basically.
Right.
Um, I don't know. I should be more patient, but I'm not.
I think it's human nature to not be patient, you know?
Yeah.
And with all the computers and everything that we have now, it just makes things like we need it now. And
Yeah, like the Amazon age, like
yeah, it's
instantaneous.
right, right. Exactly. Yeah, I had a pretty cool experience last night. I've been checking into the CE5's contact. Been listening to that lately, and I actually went out this morning. I went out this morning and I I got some feedback. I did get some feedback. So I had my first CE5 this morning. That was really cool. That was really cool. Now I'm like, I feel like I'm addicted to it now. I need to go more.
Now, I'm still pretty new to this type of stuff, like really honing in and focusing and learning about it. What is CE5?
CE5 for all of you is I just lost it. Um it's CE5 is contacting the ETs.
Okay.
So contact, like I say, I just spaced that out. Sorry, everyone. But it's on everywhere. It's everywhere. You could do searches on it.
Okay.
But it's a form of contacting extraterrestrials. And this five is the level of what you contact. So the five, from my understandings with it all, is that I initiated the contact with the um, terrestrials. So I contacted them this morning and I got feedback from them. They had responded back.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I've been reading up on it and I want to get into a group here in my area and go out and do some group stuff with it. Because like this morning, it was just me out there. It's like, oh, but that was so cool. I'm so excited about this whole thing. Yeah, and still tuning in on my mediumship and channeling because that's what I want to do. That's where I want to head
Very cool.
and connect with ET.
I'm gonna have to do some more research about that. That sounds like super fascinating.
Oh, I've been fascinated since my experience in what, 93, 92, when they were in my bedroom.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had like six of them in my bedroom. I had like three of them at the foot of my bed, one on the side of my bed, one in my closet, and one outside my window
Oh
in
wow.
my first apartment. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't know why they were there or anything. I was trying to since I was living by myself, I had a phone next to my head. I was kept trying to reach for my phone to call for help. And I couldn't even move my body. They had me paralyzed.
Wow.
And they were there, I would guess, for like 20 seconds or something like that. Just standing around my and just looking at me. It's like, okay.
That's
Now
so
what?
freaky.
Actually, it wasn't. I didn't feel I was scared, but yeah, I was calm. I was like, it was weird. It was a weird feeling. Like, I know you're not gonna hurt me because you would have done something to me by now,
Hmm.
if you would. And I'm like, but I was sitting there, call for help, call for help. And
A
yeah, and
logical
then
thing to do.
yeah, a logical thing, but you know, you can't call for help when you can't move and your phone is right next to your head, right?
Right.
But I did find out, notice a like a bullet hole in my neighbor's window a couple days later after that. And just recently I was talking actually to your brother and he was telling me, he's like, they could have been there protecting you from all of
Yeah.
that activity because I wasn't living in the best of neighborhood. Um, so I was like, that was pretty likely.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. So now I've been, ever since then, I've been like curious who they were and why they were there protecting me and all of this. So that's
Yeah.
where my interest in the ETs came from. It's like I've been drawn to them since then. So I'm
That
all
is
excited.
so cool.
It is cool. It is really cool. I mean, yeah, it's all, I'm just, there's just so much out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I've
much
seen
to learn.
some, I grew up in the middle of nowhere. So I've seen some weird stuff. We used to have a hot tub there we'd sit out there and just watch the stars all night.
Uh-huh.
And you see some weird stuff when you just sit and look and
Mm-hmm.
just focus your attention to the sky. You just
Yep.
see some strange things. The I don't have any ET stories, but I do have some UFO stories.
Hey, we're open for any kind of stories here.
Okay.
So just speak because we want everybody to be able to hear stories and you feel comfortable telling all your stories.
Okay. Um, the one that comes to mind first is sitting in the hot tub one summer night, and I'm out there alone and I'm watching the stars on the tree line, and all of a sudden this like red dot orb goes behind the tree line,
Hmm.
and it just is like hovering there, and it's just sitting there. I'm like, that's weird. Is it like a flare? What is that? And then all of a sudden it like goes left really fast, goes right really fast, comes back to where it was and kind of like settles, and then goes straight up in the air. And as it goes straight up in the air, it goes from like red, yellow to white to red again. It's like all these crazy like gradients. I'm like, okay, it's time to go inside now. That
And
was
you
weird.
and you said you haven't had an ET experience, huh?
I have not, but
That was
okay.
that's from my understandings, that was them coming in and saying hi to you, acknowledging you were there, and they felt safe with you. and you must have been feeling safe with them, and so they came to show themselves, and that was the craft that you saw, the one with the red lights and all.
Hmm.
That's my understandings with it. So that's a good thing. That's pretty cool.
Um, I've seen, we used to do a lot of road trips. Every summer we'd go somewhere. And there's a lot of nothing in America. And I had insomnia, so I would never sleep. I'd stay up with my dad as we would drive across the country. And I remember one time we were in the middle of, I want to say like Utah, Nevada, somewhere around there,
Uh-huh.
just empty, flat, dark. And on the
Yeah.
horizon, I see this really bright orb kind of keeping pace with us. You know how, like, when you're on a dark drive, you can look out in the distance and you see lights and they kind of like stay steady with you for a while, then eventually pass them because, they're so far away. I thought it was one of those for a while. And then I realized it is really staying with us. And it has been quite some time. It should have passed by now. So I watch it for like 30 minutes or so and I go, Dad, do you see that? And he's like, Yeah, I've been watching that too. I don't know what that is. I'm like, Okay. That's so strange. I don't know what that is.
Probably the same.
This one was like a bright white light. So I wonder if it might be something different.
What's your gut feeling on that?
Um, I don't know. I've never really given too much thought about ETs. It's more been like, oh, it's just something kind of weird. And I'm like, I don't know if it's real or not. So I'm not going to think too much about it.
Yeah.
uh,
My ET story, it took forever. It was just like a wild dream, is what it seemed like to me until just, let me see, just before COVID hit. So it was probably 2019,
mm,
when I really started getting involved in all of this as much as I am. So I'm finding a lot of stuff out about my childhood and things I've seen that really was, they, it really was something.
hmm.
So yeah, I check into that light because to me, the feeling is they were with you right there too. They were following you and making sure you guys were safe on your trip.
Yeah, it didn't feel malevolence or anything. It was just kind of like there.
Yeah.
um, and Dad didn't seem bothered by it, so it is what it was. So I just want to know what it was. Like,
Who were they?
why are you following me?
I figure if they don't hurt me or anything, I guess, what's the hurt? They're probably there protecting you for some reason. Something
Yeah,
was about, and they're there to surround you.
I wish they'd introduce themselves already. Be like, hello,
Well,
who are you?
soon, soon. That's part of starting up this podcast, is so we can get this all out there and so they can start talking to us. My understandings again is that they're wanting to talk with us now, and they are willing to start sharing soon, I believe, pictures of themselves.
That would be awesome. I am
So,
super curious how much
yeah.
Hollywood has gotten right.
Oh, my thoughts about Hollywood. My thoughts about Hollywood. I think a lot of this stuff has been ET related per se, or psychic related. Um, I think they've all been given visions and ideas for these movies, like the Jetsons way back when, and let's see, Star Wars, all of these kinds of stories with the future in it. I
Hmm.
think there was a lot of information given to the ones writing these stories.
Interesting.
That's my thought, but I don't know for sure. But that's my thoughts, because I mean, how else would they predict or have stories like that, And some of those stories that they had are like, they're true people. Yeah, I mean, you see visions of these people now, and they're identically the same, I mean, they're the
Yeah.
same. Like the typical ET that you see, the short, 3 foot, skinny, big eyes, almond
Yeah.
shape.
One of the little grays.
The little grays, and that's the ones I saw at the end of my bed.
Hmm. That's
So
super interesting.
yeah.
Like it's like they know it's like too much for us right now, but
Hmm.
slowly introducing, like,
Yes.
I don't know what I'm trying to say.
They know when you're ready.
Yeah.
They know when you're ready, so they will introduce themselves in your timeline. So they won't just come out in their full self. They'll introduce themselves as a voice, talk to you for a while and as a voice, and then gradually come in clearer and clearer. And
Wow.
sometimes they'll have a cloak on so that they don't scare us, because if they scare us, then it's like,
I'll start
we
all over again. Let's try again.
yeah, and it's going to be too much for us and we wouldn't be able to handle it again.
Right.
So they are very knowledgeable. They read us. They read us very well.
So, in your opinion, what do you think they want with humanity? Like, what is their ultimate goal with meddling in affairs here?
From what my knowledge is and my opinions, I think they're trying to raise our energy levels. They're trying to send more love around the world. They want us to be better people. They really don't want all this anger around the place. They don't want the wars. They don't want anyone to be on just so negative. They are trying to teach us all how to be who we're here for, and that's to help each other out and to love each other.
Okay.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Um, I don't know. It seems just like observation, like they like an experiment of some kind. Like, let's put all of these people together and see just what happens. Like, what do they do
Uh-huh.
when they are no longer bound by us? Like, what choices do they make? What are the motivations for making these things? And like, why are humans the way they are?
I asked that question. Why are we the way we are? And actually, it's one of my questions I would like to ask them. Why are we the way we are? What makes people tick this way and that way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Do you have any other stories for us today?
um, Give me a direction to go into because I've got
Uh,
a ton.
well, what is the next one that's popping in your head?
um, Another ghost one.
Okay.
Was where I was home alone, and I'm in my parents' bathroom, and I've got the door cracked just a little bit, and I'm sitting there, doing my business, and I hear voices on the other side of the door, a male and a female, going, "Shh, what's she doing? Shh, she can hear us." And I'm like, "Oh my god, no, 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 no." I'm like 14 at this point, and I'm just like, there's somebody in the house. Mom, you need to come home. What's happening? I'm
Uh-huh.
scared. There's somebody here. I heard people. My mind did not go paranormal. It was like someone was trying to rob us and they saw me in the bathroom.
Oh.
It was only later on where I was like, I think that may have been something paranormal because that was super bizarre. Because there's no way somebody would be there. Like the house
Yeah.
was locked up. It was fine. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, perverts.
They're just curious. They're just curious. Oh. Well, our time is about to be ending here,
Okay.
but I think that would be a good spot to close at.
Sounds great. Well, thank you for
So,
having me. This is fun.
oh, I enjoy this. This is going to be a blast doing this, and I do appreciate you coming on with me. And since you have so many more stories, maybe we could get together again sometime.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Leah, and we will chat with you later.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All
Mm,
right,
bye.
bye.